Hello guys, good morning. Coach Carl here. So ngayon mag-update tayo regarding dun sa recent release ng NFP yesterday. Ngayon, iba-backtrack natin yung mga naging analysis natin for the past. Since last week, prepare na tayo for NFP. We are expecting for numbers na lumabas. So, alam natin yung possible na pwede mangyari pag lumabas yung ganitong number and so on and so forth. Upon checking, dun sa mga releases, no, dun sa result yesterday, ngayon, July 4, expect na wala masyadong galaw yung market because holiday sa US. And check na lang natin yung mga recent performance and record ng ating NFP report and ano ba yung magiging impact nito dun sa decision making ng Fed sa upcoming FOMC sa July 31. And let's check the numbers if ano ba yung mga numbers na lumabas. So from here, kung makita natin dito, ang lagi ko kasi ditong tinitingnan talaga is yung forecast. So, yung forecast nito is 120, I guess. Alam ko 122 pero nag-bug. Check natin din dun sa record natin sa taas. No? From previous na 144,000, na-revise din nila to. Pag meron ganito, nakita yun sa Forex Factory yan. Ibig sabihin yan, revise. Meron siyang revision. Yung actual naman ay 147,000 which is more larger than the forecast and also from previous. So, ang tinitingnan ko lang lagi dyan yung actual versus previous. Dito kasi yan madalas nagkakatalo. And also, yung expectation nila from unemployment rate which is 4.3 and now, binabaan nila to 4.1. And yung unemployment claims, ibig sabihin nito, yung mga non-job na insured sa kanila ay bumaba naman ng more than 7,000. Medyo malaki yun, no? Previous naman ay merong revision. Yung red lang dito is yung hourly. Hindi nila na-reach yung 3.30% na dapat mas konting mababa dun sa previous and hindi naman sobrang mababa dun sa nakaraan. Pero hindi nila na-reach. Ibig sabihin, yung tatlo numbers out of NFP is positive for the US. Okay, good impact siya sa US. And meron pa tayo ditong ISM. Ito ay survey. So, nagpapakita naman to pag above 50 yung kanilang forecast and yung naging actual is above 50 din. That is meaning to say, maganda yung report na to. This is a survey, no? Pag sinabi kasi natin above 50, that is expansion. Pag below 50, that is contraction. Recently, tayo nakapag-update ng daily charting natin. Di tayo nakapag-create ng chart update natin ng Monday, ng Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So ngayon, Friday is we are expecting low volatility because of holiday. So balikan lang natin yung mga previous forecast natin. And tignan natin ano ba yung nangyari. Sabi ko nga, ahead of time, you need to prepare. Kailangan mo ng papagplanuhan ano ba yung gagawin mo dun sa upcoming NFP report at dapat alam mo kung ano yung pwedeng mangyari once na-release yung numbers or yung data because yun yung pinakapagbabasehan ng mga investor if they buying in or they pulling out. As of what we see, yung movement ng market yesterday, medyo mahina lang for gold, no? Because dito nag-range si gold. Ayan, no? For the day, no? This is Thursday and then nag-range lang siya dito and then nagkaroon siya dito ng breakout and nag-bounce lang siya dito dun sa recent area kung saan natin meron tayong buy zone, no? Ito yung mga recent support natin and nagkaroon tayo ng bottom dito sa part na to which is buy zone din natin siya. And kung mapapansin ninyo, ang ating forecast dati is supposed to be dapat dito lang. Yan lang yung pinaka-bounce ng ating sell zone. No? Ito yung kinonsider natin tong sell zone because of the upcoming data. So, ang expectation ko kasi lagi, no, pag binabaan nila yung forecast versus previous, they expecting to make it higher. Pinaka-worst kasi dun pag bumaba pa talaga. Para sa akin kasi mas yung actual, dito kasi sila nagkakaroon ng chance na pagandahin yung numbers versus forecast and actual. Kasi ito talaga yung pinaka tinitignan ng mga investor and mga analyst. So, ito forecast to ng mga analyst and once na-reach yun, meaning to say, magandang numbers yun for USD, which is what we call good. So, last time, we consider this our sell zone, no? Itong area na to because yun yung tinitignan natin. And we're expecting na hindi na siya aakyat. Kung sakaling umakyat man yan, ito ma-break niya to, that's a good sign na magkakaroon tayo ng momentum pataas. But ano ba yung pinaka nangyari during this period? Okay, so meron tayong explanation na simple of the China imported large quantity of golds from Hong Kong for the second month in a row in May, no? According to data from Hong Kong Statistic Department, net shipment to China amounted to 48.1 tons compared to April 43.4 tons of gold. So napakalaking volume no. This was reported last July 1, which is Tuesday. So, okay, dito sa part na to. So, yan yung reason kung bakit nagkaroon dito tayo ng breakout and then nagkaroon tayo ng price up dito. Okay, nag-accumulate sila dito sa part na to, then the market rise up. So, marami nang sumabay. Nung natunugan to ng mga traders, then nakita nila yung data, then sinabayan nila yan, and then they bought kasama dun sa China. So, malaking factors din to, no? Kasi in terms of trading gold, pinaka-baseline pa kasi natin talaga dito is law of supply and demand. Konti lang yung supply ng gold, pero pag lumaki yung demand niya, nagkakaroon tayo ng price up. So, pag marami namang supply, ito yung price. Pag maraming supply at konti lang yung demand, marami yung supply, konti demand, automatically, price will fall. Okay? So, dapat maintindihan nyo yan. Pag nagkakaroon ng new order from different institution, and especially ito, central bank, China na to, mismong China na yung nag-order ng tons of gold. So, ibig sabihin, a large of volume yan. Ibig sabihin, demand yan. No? So, we're expecting the price will rise up. Bakit naman napigilan yung pagtaas ng price? So, supposed to be dapat uptrend pa rin siya because of those orders. No? But, we need to consider yung report ng NFP. So, now, since na-release na natin yung NFP report, we are considering ano na ba yung next? Ano na yung next? So later on, pag-usapan din natin yung mga elements, no? Kung bakit magkakaroon ng strength pa si USD for the next and bakit mapipigilan si gold na tumaas ng tumaas. So, balikan lang muna natin yung mga previous data and information natin. It regards to the previous analysis natin. Actually, this was recorded on June 28. So, nagbasa na tayo doon. Nagkaroon na tayo ng reading and discussion about this. And kung hindi nyo pa po napanood yung video, balikan nyo lamang po. Pwede kong i-comment po dito sa comment section yung link ng video. Panoorin nyo po yun para mas maunawaan po ninyo. Okay, from the recent record, no, from June 5, June 12, June 18, and June 26, nakita natin yung number is gradually nagdi-decrease, no? Paunti-unti yung numbers of unemployment. Napansin nyo yan? So, from 247, naging 248. So, pagdating ng June 26, bigla na lang naging 236. So, ang expectation kasi natin dyan, once na, for example, continuously nagda-drop yung numbers ng unemployed, meaning to say, potentially magdadagdag siya sa numbers of NFP for the next report. Okay? Nag-gets nyo yung logic? That is the strategy, no? Or the secret that we are using para ma-identify natin whether we are expecting for a high number of NFP for the next release or supposed to be dapat bababa siya or tata. Alam natin yung potential na mangyari. And useless lang din lahat yun if kung sakaling alam mo, hindi mo din alam kung paano siya ipa-practice to trade during sa part na yan na i-release. You have the idea on how to read it properly. But, paano mo naman siya i-apply through your own trade? So, dito sa part na to, na-discuss ko din dito, if ano ba yung potential expectation natin and what is the key consideration. Why Fed is having a strength during those period, no? Because of those dovish and hawkish decision, no? Kung sakaling halimbawa, yung tone or numbers ng NFP for the release, no? Recent release is higher. So, yung tone, no? Ito yung tone. Yung tono ng Fed is more likely hawkish. But if the NFP number is dropped, okay, yung idea ng Fed is to make cut rate. Ayan, magka-cut rate sila. So, pag hawkish yung Fed, alright? Pag hawkish yung Fed, magkakaroon niya ng positive trend for USD. Pag dovish naman si Fed, that is totally negative impact for USD. So, pag nag-trade tayo ng gold, lagi itong in-explain, since yung base natin is gold and yung currency natin is from COT is USD, so ngayon, pag nagkakaroon ng strength, no, positive impact si NFP, then now, we are considering it as a downtrend. Okay, downtrend siya. Kasi malakas si USD. But, you need to consider also, hanggang kailan lang, baka short term lang siya, you need to consider it. Kasi kung sample, kung meron tayong uncertainty currently nangyayari, and upcoming yung tariff pa, no, makakapagpa-apekto pa yan. Kung meron tension, more likely, pwedeng mag-range lang kasi to. Kasi meron war, no? War. Pag walang war, walang uncertainty, so we are looking for continuously momentum for drop. Pero kung merong war, merong uncertainty like tariff is coming, mag-on na naman siya ulit. Now, we are considering market may range lang, no? Kasi merong strength si USD, meron din strength si SAO, okay? So, pwedeng ganun yung mangyari. Pero kung sakaling halimbawa, yung tone ng Fed we are expecting na no, mababa yung number of NFP. Then we're expecting yung Fed is dovish na yung tone nila. Then now we will see more likely gold is going higher. Ano pa yung pwede mag-contribute? Yung order ng China, yung uncertainty, yung fear ng mga tao, the numbers of NFP, and yung progress na kailangan ng Fed to for higher GDP is mapipilitan sila magkaroon ng cut ng rate. Okay? Pag nag-cut sila ng rate, we are expecting that gold will make an uptrend. Okay? Hopefully that is clear para sa inyo. So, we are expecting dito, then may na-explain ko din to, panoorin niyo din to sa recent video ko. And yan, no. July 3, ito yung ating expectation. So, what if kung ano yung magiging release, no, sa July 3. So, in-expect natin, na-explain ko din to na sakaling lumakas, no. Kasi yung palang na 120k, tama ba yung ating ano dito? Okay, 120 nga. So, pinalitan nila yung forecast, pinababa pa nila. 120k, pag nag-release nga talaga siya ng mas malaki, above 100k, which is 147k, we are expecting that price may fall. Ayan. Pag nag-continuous pa siya and naging strength pa, magkaroon pa ng strengthen sa USD, so it might continue dropping the price of gold. So we need to consider those discounted price to buy gold, and tingnan natin kung ano yung pwede mangyari pa in terms of geopolitical, mga biglaang ganap, mga biglaang nangyayari sa market, and so on and so forth. For this time, tuturo ko naman sa inyo on how you can, ito pala yung ating expectation, no, dun sa recent data natin, which is 3 to So, dito tayo nakakita, no? But, July, no? Nung July, ito 28, 27. Nung July 1, may biglaang demand. So, tumaas siya up until dito sa price na to. Then, nagkaroon ng strength ng USD, then, na price drop naman siya. Basically, ganun talaga yung process. And based on my observation, palagi yan ang nangyayari, madalas. Okay? So, dito sa part na to, na-check na natin yung first report for this month, which is from employment, which is NFP numbers. Ano na yung next natin na titignan? So, yung inflation kasi, na-check na natin dito yung PCE. Bago tayo magpatuloy dun sa ating pinag-uusapan, gusto ko po muna sa inyong ipakita yung ating current project, yung ating copy trading manual and automated trading, na kung saan pwede nyo po itong i-copy. A minimum of 100 USD lang, pwede na po kayo makapag-start at mag-earn sa trading using our copy trading system. Makikita nyo po dito yung ating portfolio, which is, this is live account. Makita nyo naman po dyan. And recorded po ito since September 24. 2024. So, pwede nyo po itong i-copy dun sa ating program or sa system natin dito sa ating signal provider. So, ito po, no, meron na tayong current 26 copiers dito sa ating portfolio na to, and pwede po kayong sumabay, no, minimum 100 USD lang. Kagandahan po na to ay manual trading, at yung account ko po mismo na tinitrade, ay yun mismo yung makakopy po ninyo. Kung ano po yung trade na ginawa ko sa account ko, automatically po, yun din po yung mag-trade po dun sa account po. Para ito dun sa mga walang time mag-trade, wala pang knowledge paano gawin ng ang trading, at meron kayong gusto nyo mag-diversify ng inyong portfolio, this is for you, no? Meron tayong different projects na open dito. Yung isa pa nating available, itong ating CFX 2.0, ito naman yung manual trading natin na kinonvert natin to automated trading. Nag-start lang po ito nung May 2025. Kumbaga ito lang yung continuation ng manual trading ko, and then kinonvert ko lamang po siya sa automated trading. So ito na po yung naging performance niya, and currently nasa 158% na po yung growth niya. And nag-start lang po ito sa $100. Pero yung pinaka-best recommendation ko for now is at least 300 USD. And kung gusto nyo mas ma-leverage yung true potential niya, ay pwede kayo mag-start with 1,000 USD. Yun lang. And kung gusto nyo pong sumali dun sa ating group sa Telegram, yung ating system pala is connected also dun sa ating Telegram channel, which is nagpo-provide po tayo ng notification and signals once na magkaroon po ng trade dun sa account natin sa copy trading. Automatically po, once na kasali po kayo dun sa Telegram, mano-notify po kayo at lalabas din po yung mga data and information na meron po dun sa current trade or recent trades natin. So, ipapakita ko din po sa inyo yung system. Okay, ito po yung itsura ng ating automated system, no? Actually, ginagamit ko na to since 2023, and nag-stop lang ako na gamitin siya for some reason, and now ibabalik natin, no, para meron tayong automated notification or signals para every time na magte-trade po yung ating setup ay manonotify po kayo. And also, ito yung ating manual trading setup. Automatically, mag-show po siya nung current trades natin and data. And also, available din yung ating automated trading system. And also, ito na yung naging performance niya. Magkakaroon tayo ng update ng performance monthly, daily, and maganda to pag sobrang busy po kayo at hindi nyo po masyadong nakikita yung trade setup natin. So, pwede nyo na lang tong i-backtrack, no? Balikan nyo na lamang to para makita yung performance natin. At the same time, pwede po kayong sumabay, no? Pwede nyo po itong sabayan. Tuturuan ko po kayo kung paano ninyo male-leverage yung mga positions natin throughout our trading system. Kung gusto nyo po siyang sabayan, PM nyo lamang po ako. Meron tayong separate group dito para maturan ko po kayo kung paano nyo mas male-leverage yung mga position natin in the future trades. Yun lang. And continue tayo sa ating video. Which is last week naman ng buwan. Ito yung first week. Ito naman yung last week of the month. Alright? So, ano na ba yung next natin na titignan para mabuo yung numbers na tinitignan ng Fed, no? So, ang titingnan na natin dyan is meron pa ulit lalabas. It says yung CPI. So, hindi naman siya masyadong tinitignan ng Fed. But for us as a trader, since nagkakaroon to ng volume, tinitignan din naman natin to. Also, Fed is also checking this one. Pero, mas preferred talaga nila yung PCE in terms of inflation report. So, ngayon, tingnan din natin ano ba yung next schedule na dapat nating tingnan and consider next week. So, much better ahead of time, you are checking those information in terms of fundamentals, kailan siya lalabas, ano yung magiging impact nito sa market. At the same time, you need to prepare for your trade setup. Okay, so tignan natin, yung next natin in terms of inflation. Okay, pupunta na tayo dun sa ating Forex Factory. Ang next report natin ay, check ko lang. Alright, so ang next na nating titignan dyan ay yung series na naman nung unemployment claim, no? Although meron pa tayong upcoming CPI, pero lagi itong release is third week to, no? Third week. Yung weekly is yung ating unemployment claim. Okay, unemployment claim yan. So, tingnan natin dito, kung makita natin is unemployment claims, which is July 10. So, meron na naman sila dito magiging forecast and actual. So, wala pang forecast. Tignan nyo na lang. Next week, i-release po yan. So, yung CPI naman, nakita natin dito, which is will happen July 15. So, meron tayong core CPI, CPI month for month, CPI year for year, and also yung ating state manufacturing. And meron din tayong PPI. So, ito, mga nagmamatter din to, no? Yung core, in terms of consumer na to, no? Ayan, consumer spending. Kasama na to dito sa consumer spending, yung retails, itong mga to. So, ito, key consideration din to. Pag sakaling halimbawa, mataas yung retail sales nila, they're expecting for a higher change ng kanilang CPI for the next release. Alright? Or yung core PCE nila. Okay, so yun yung pinakailangan nating factor. So, gagawa na lang din ako ng ulit ng series ng video na to. If gusto po ninyo, just comment down below para ipagpatuloy po natin yung ganitong mga videos and makapagbigay po sa inyo ng mga sample of trade setup, ano po yung pwede natin gawin during those periods, and ano yung magiging trade plan natin. So, ito yung mga key consideration na kailangan nating tignan. So, ito yung buo, no? So, para mabuo itong decision making ng Fed, yung mga elements na to, there's inflation, GDP, employment, consumer spending or consumer confidence is those factors that may affect the decision making of the central bank of Fed and other central bank also. So yung GDP naman, I guess alam ko nasa third to fourth week ng month to nire-release. So yung ang GDP, yan naman yung reflection ng mga naging decision nila in the past and dapat magkaroon ng progress ito. Maganda dapat yung progress para magkaroon siya ng impact sa employment. At the same time, maapektuhan din nito yung inflation and also yung consumer spending ang nakakapag-contribute dito. Ayan, connect yan sila. So, that's all for today's video and I hope meron po kayo natutunan and meron po kayong na-receive or mas meron pong na-enlighten po kayo dun sa ating mga discussion. Is kung gusto niyo po ng mga ganitong video, just comment down below kung meron po kayong mga request and gagawan po natin sila ng video. And kung hindi pa po kayo naka-follow or subscribe, follow po kayo para lagi po kayo na-notify pag meron po tayong mga bagong videos. Yun lang for today's video. Thank you and salamat.